Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And from lovely Minnesota. Yeah, and Tesla says hi too. He's a bit annoying when he gets home even after he eats. He eats in like 10 seconds and then he begs like he didn't just eat. But you have to be in here, otherwise the other cats would eat the other food eaten, wouldn't they? Alright, so we're on the precipice of a new year. Actually, I would say we're limping into a new year. It's almost been 365 days since stuff started happening. And then March is when our stuff started happening. And the Ronarex has got a hold of the entire world. But that doesn't mean we can't move on, and it doesn't mean that we can't maneuver and sail through it. So one of the things I decided to do is way to progress yourself. Ways to move up and ways to make yourself better. And it's really hard for people to better themselves when they don't know what they have an aim at or they don't have anything in scope. So some of the things I wrote down, I don't know how many is on here, but I just trying to think about things that how I was trying to improve this year, and I'm going to be doing the same thing for next year, but just trying to hone in on some things. First thing I have is write it down and get organized, because some of the things you need to understand, you have to be able to see, you have to be able to manage them, you have to be able to, align them. And if you don't write things down, like I have stuff written down everywhere. I mean, it doesn't look organized here, but a lot of these are just like pieces of my past, or maybe have a password that I need written on there. But I will go through all that stuff and throw it out before the end of the year. Next, keep a to-do list, but keep it short. I don't think people should line their entire day up with 35 things that they need to do to get their life in order. I think what they should do is they keep it short and sweet, and like do 1 to maybe 2, maybe 3 time-consuming duties. I wouldn't, maybe even just keep it to 1, and then like 3 to 5 smaller ones. Here, I'll put you. You want to go in the other room? I'll put you in the other room. Don't ever get a tuxedo. I love them to pieces, but oh my gosh, he won't shut up. Next, 1 to 3 time-consuming duties, and time-consuming is like when I'm saying do a to-do list and keep it short. Don't be like, I need to block off 8 to 10, like, or an entire day of fare. You can do like just a couple hours. You don't have to do all day just to get stuff done. If you're waiting to just do everything all in one day, you're gonna feel so distracted on your day that you have to get all that stuff done, that your brain is gonna find things to relax you, because you're gonna either stress. Like, can you imagine waking up and thinking that you have 25 things that you need to take care of? You're never gonna get any sleep. You're gonna be thinking about those things. So you just gotta keep it small, keep it short, keep it sweet, but then the progress it gets compacted and it rolls, it snowballs. So that's why I have the do not next. I said don't multitask. Don't try to do 2, 3, 4, 5 things at once. Not only is your quality of work not going to be as stellar or as good as it could be, but you're going to lack focus. If you're trying to do 2 things at once, 3 things, 4 things, trust me, I try to do it. You can get so easily distracted, and then what ends up happening is 2 or 3 of those things get done either half-assed or they don't get done at all. So even when I try to clean, I get sidetracked cleaning, and I'll be like, I'm going to clean for an hour or 2, and it turns into a 3-day affair, 3-hour affair. Don't need it. Minimize distractions. This also means all sorts of different things you could be doing by turning notifications off on your phone, and maybe not answering every single phone call or email or text message that you need to. Informing those around you that you may need that time to get your stuff completed. And if people don't respect your time, just be like, I'll get to you. I promise I'll get to you. It's just going to take me X amount of hours, or, call me after noon and, dedicate an entire hour to you. People are very respectful of other people, but some people just don't know how to either say no. And that's also on my list. If you don't know how to say no, you're going to constantly be distracted with other people, or you're not going to be able to draw boundaries. No is not a bad thing. You can say yes 1,000 times and no once. And it doesn't mean don't help anyone or don't stick your neck out for anyone or don't give anyone your time. I'm not saying that. People are always so extreme when it comes to like advice. When I say something like if Coral's bothering me and it's like, I'm working, don't talk to me, or she'll take it personal because I'm like, it's almost like, don't talk to me. I'm not making time for you. It's like I give you 100% of my time all the time, but sometimes I need my own time to take care of the things I need to take care of. I'm dyslexic and I have a lot of things running through my head, and in order to get them organized, I need my own thoughts and my own time. So that's my next one, block time. You got to block time. I make time for YouTube. I make time for investing. I make time for my friends. I make time for my family. I make time for Coral's family. I make time for my own personal time. I make time to play games. I make time to read. I make time to do puzzles. I make time to put together Legos. But a lot of those things are just not necessarily hobbies, but like they're time-consuming things that allow me to exercise my mind elsewhere. So, organized workspace. My space is not organized, but I almost know where everything is. I'm going to work on that one. I'm actually going to star that one because I think that would be, if you can focus on like your biggest negative things about you, your failure, not saying your failures, but things that you can work on. If you can improve on those things first, everyone knows what they're good at. I don't need to go play Warzone to practice to win 3 games in a day. I already did it. Never going to say it's going to happen again, but it's one of those things that you're not going to practice things that you're already good at unless you're going to pay you, I would like to dedicate my time to stuff that doesn't include constantly reorganizing my stuff. Like I'll reorganize, but maybe once every 3 to 6 months, maybe once a year, depending on how bad it is. Luckily, I don't have a garage because that would probably be my catch-all, and I would probably only do that once a year. Next, track and limit time. I already kind of did that, but that is also comes with time management. If you don't have good time management and you can just get distracted with everything that you do. I'm, for one, a procrastinator, so I actually excel under pressure, but I also make sure that I have enough time to be pressure to get that stuff done. So embrace technology and don't be scared of it, and don't get scared to like YouTube something if you're not sure, or ask somebody that's more tech savvy about it, because there are a lot of free apps out there, money management, budgeting things that like you're just like, I can't set a budget, Greg, or I can't find the time in the day to do stuff because I got the kids and this. Everyone has the same amount of time. Think of Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. Those guys, they're allotted the same 24 hours we're allotted. There's no reason why people can't excel beyond them. It's because they've spent more time investing and being better at time management. Those guys probably wake up 3, 4, 5 hours before any of us do. And it's because they have a billionaire mentality. They weren't always a billionaire. They weren't always a thousandaire. They weren't always a millionaire. It grew to that because they had these compound decision-making abilities. And some of these things, if you can master just a few of them, you don't even have to master all of them, it'll set you up for so much success, your head will explode in a good way with more ideas. So, yeah, embrace technology and use anything that you can at your disposal. Even if it means you got to wake up earlier, set your alarm earlier. If you have to set reminders, and I write on paper because when I write on paper, it makes me memorize it. I have a notepad filled with stuff that I don't always reference, and when I go back to it, I'm like, I have like 30 top 10s on there that I just completely forgot about, because if I write it down, I can remember numbers, I can remember all sorts of different things, and then it's kind of written down in my head after I write it down. Everyone learns a little bit different and operates a little bit differently. So, SMART goals. What are SMART goals? Or set SMART goals. Setting a SMART goal is not actually being intelligent, or a SMART goal is an abbreviation. SMART is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. And that's just one of the things where they need to line up with that in order for it to be a positive goal. If your goal is to make your bed and you don't get to it for like 3 days, well, that's fine. You don't have to make your bed because it's not necessarily a smart goal and it's not really going to attain you anything. You could spend 300 minutes or hours a year doing these tedious tasks, and are they really even applied to you? Like, do they even matter to you? Like, some people, yes, making their bed matters to them. Some people, they can't start their day without doing it. Some people never make their bed. I don't. We make our bed like usually when we like clean the sheets, and that's about it. Like, do we care? Yeah, well, we cover it up so the cats don't lay on it, but other than that, it's not. You're never gonna walk in there and be like, wow, look at all those pillows and look at all these how it's made. It's never made like that. So a smart goal is something specific, something that is going to matter, something that's going to make a change in your life. It's measurable. There's a way that you can say, hey, it's growing, it's getting better. You can't tell if you're making your bed better every day. It's going to be the best it's always going to be if you make it the best you can be. So like something measurable is something, it's like, oh, me writing a book. If I tell myself I have to do 1 to 3 pages a day and I dedicate to that 1 to 3 pages, that's measurable. I should be able to tell myself in this X amount of days I should have 300 pages done. And if you don't, then it's not measurable, and it's not really attainable if you're not setting to that kind of level of focus. If you're saying, hey, I don't have time for it today, I got to do 6 pages tomorrow, then you're not letting your task slide. You're not letting it. It's not like working out. You don't get those days back when you don't work out and you decide to like just stuff your face and do whatever you want. You don't get those workout days back. What you get is another day that you're going to have to work out to get those calories back. So it's a way you can also think about it with food. I mean, people can notice when their weight changes, right? They can notice when it goes up. They can notice when it goes down. But it also is done by compound decisions that they make, good ones or bad ones. And that makes it attainable, and that makes it realistic. And then time bound, you just got to set deadlines. If you're going to be spending all this time on something, you should. I could tell you I could write a book in 40 hours on my next, but I have to sit down. I need to dedicate my time to it, and I need to not have any distractions or anything. I'm going to always have distractions. So you have to allot it to yourself, and you still have to sleep, and you have to be healthy, and there's other things that you have to do that are more important than just getting stuff done. But if you want progress, it's one of the things that you have to sacrifice. What else? Choose your friends wisely. I think I bring this up quite frequently. Same mind and like-minded people that are going to be pushing you towards a better tomorrow. Not just your own person, but the people around you. So it's something that you have to think about, and if you have to think about being with somebody or hanging out with a specific person, they're probably not good for you. If you're like, well, is this person good for me? Do they use up a lot of your time? Do they use up a lot of your money? Do they use up a lot of your energy? Do you ever hang out with somebody that is always talking about their health problems, always talking about the issues they have, always have relationship problems, and they're just here venting to you and venting to you and venting to you? Well, you have to limit your light and your energy to those people. You can't just sit there and give them all your time, because after you're done even hanging out on the phone with them, you hang up, you're like, oh, I'm so friggin' exhausted. I need a beer just from talking to somebody on the phone. That's a good sign. You probably should spend less time talking to that person. And I'm not saying you need to cut everyone out of your life. You need to limit your time and your light. So, for instance, there's a certain number, about 10 or 15 people in my direct line of friends and family, that when I see their name come up on my phone and it's calling, it is never going to be good. It's never going to be, hey, Greg, it's so good to hear from you. It's so good to talk to you. I haven't heard from you. It's always going to be something bad. I see their name or their number come up on my phone, and it's just, boom, instant anxiety. And then I always pick up, and I'm thinking, oh, how long should I talk to this person? I'm already thinking of excuses to get off the phone before I even answer it. And I know a lot of people like that. And that's why I don't talk to a lot of people. Last, teach yourself, which means learn to self-teach. Everything out there is pretty much available on the internet, on books, anywhere that you want to look. There's sources, there's so many free things online. The internet's an absolute miracle. You just gotta like ask people and go in the right direction. So yeah, this is only supposed to be a couple minute long video, and I was gonna whip through these, but sometimes I just can't do it. You guys have a stellar evening. I don't know if I'm gonna be online tonight. Well, maybe I will. We'll see. You just gotta ask me nicely. Laters.